Hey crafty people, it's Tasha here for Wow Embossing. Today I'm going to be making the card that you just saw flash up on your screen, and I'm going to be showing you my all-time favourite embossing technique. So I'm going to start here. I've got an A2 panel of Nina £80 cardstock, and I'm just covering it in Wow ultra slow embossing ink. So I've got a nice juicy pad and I am pressing that into and rubbing that up this sort of top half or so of the panel. So I'm going to make sure that I've got all of that top part covered. Then I'm grabbing out, this is the mixed media brush, so it's the same ink and it comes with this little brush tool, and yeah, you can use it for loads of different things. What I want to use it for today is to give me a sort of soft and rough edge. I want a bit more of an organic feel to the bottom part of this embossing ink, just to even it out a little bit and to make sure I've not missed anywhere. I've just gone back in to the top with my embossing pad. Then here I'm going to be taking, this is Clear Ocean, it's from the New Island Time Trio, and I'm just putting that all over that piece of cardstock. So by the time I've got the ink that I've pressed on with the pad and then the brush, you can see that I've got down to sort of 3/4 of the panel covered. I'm just using a stiff brush there, just to, if I think there's any areas of that bottom edge there that are a bit too uniform, then I'm just brushing a little bit of the powder away. And then I'm going to heat set it. And this embossing technique will always be my favourite. I love covering a whole panel in embossing and using it as a background, and you really don't use as much powder as you might think. So once I've got that all heat set there, I'm going to move on to create my focal points for the card. So I've just done the exact same thing on another piece of cardstock where I've smushed my pad into it to create my own glitter cardstock, and this is using the wonderful and lovely Jo Herbert's new trio Frosted Jewels. So as you would expect with a trio, there's 3 powders, but I'm not going to be using the frosted silver today. I'm just using the gold and copper, I think it is. So this is another of my favourite techniques to create my own glitter cardstock, any colour that my heart could desire. And I've cut the detail layers of these beautiful butterflies from that glittery cardstock, and then I've cut the base layer from this is a brushed metallic cardstock from Ultinu. I decided I wanted to mat my embossed panel on some of this same cardstock, but I don't want to waste it. You know, it's expensive, these specialty cardstocks, so I'm just going to cut the centre out. I know that you won't see it because it's going to be completely covered up by my background panel, so no one will know. I've added some strong double-sided adhesive to the outside of my embossed panel. I have just trimmed that down a little bit so that I can have that matting layer. You do want to use some strong adhesive because obviously a lot of heat has gone on to that panel, so it can be a little bit warped. You might notice that there's some darker parts of the embossing where the actual brush was, and that's just because I put a little bit too much of the ink, and it just sort of soaks into the paper, but I don't mind that look. If you do, just don't put as much ink. I've stamped a sentiment. This is from the butterflies, and the stamp are both from A Pocket Full of Happiness. I absolutely love Joker's stuff. It's amazing. If you've not checked it out before, then you are seriously missing out. And I added some beautiful coordinating jewels. These are Alexandra Renke's glitter stone embellishments, which again are amazing. So here's some close-up photos of the background embossing and also that beautiful glitter cardstock that I created. So I hope that you will try my favourite technique. I would love to see what you guys make of it. I will link to some other videos where I've shared different ways to use this technique because, yeah, I've done it a lot because it's my favourite. I hope that you will like this video, give me a thumbs up, please drop a comment in the box below. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.